I drew a Bulbasaur, bitches. Here's a couple first attempts. Nothing too fancy. So I want it known that I just bought a tablet a couple weeks ago. Little drawing tablet. It's a Wacom something or other. I'll put it in the description. Um, and I wanted to get better at drawing. Because I can't even draw with paper and pen. Do people draw with a pen? Pencil. Paper and pencil. I can't do that shit. So what made me think I could do it on the computer? Uh, but I started in on it nonetheless, and I decided to start with the number one thing to draw, Bulbasaur. And I had some fun with it. It was good. As you can see, I'm sketching up a storm here. I erase a lot. I'm still learning a lot of the tools. Before I started on this Bulbasaur, I had about 2 hours of practice. So very, very new. This is all you're seeing me learn and grow over the course of this drawing. The actual drawing took about, I want to say, 2 hours, 25 minutes, something like that. And I think it shows. I think I really knocked it out of the park with this one. So I mean, not a lot of experience drawing in general. I just had to get a feel for the tablet in a lot of ways, and I thought that Pokemon would be a good way to start that. So Bulbasaur was the logical first step. For anyone just starting out with drawing, be it on a tablet or otherwise, I would recommend Pokemon. Just the subtle shading, the not too much detail, but some detail. The focus on the faces seems to be, I mean, you can kind of see their emotion in their faces, and it kind of gets you used to stuff like that. If you ask me, I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about, so don't ask me. But that being said, it's the conclusion I came to at the very least. Pokemon are a great place to start when drawing. Um, the sketch took me, I think, on this one, I think 40 minutes. 40 minutes to an hour, I don't know. But um, I think I took way too long. That's kind of my takeaway here. I'd say in future drawings, I'm going to definitely cut that down. The first sketch being where, I mean, honestly, you should just mess up. That's what I've found. And this is a good time to talk about mess ups because this is one of my biggest mess ups on this drawing was his dino spots, which is what I was calling them colloquially, if you will, dino spots. Um, I started on his dino spots thinking, oh, this is going to be an easy thing to just fill in real quick. But I hadn't really figured out layers yet. And you can probably see that. I mean, anyone who can draw can probably see that. I'm already kind of lacking on the layers. And so I just kind of started filling them in. And that was great, actually. The dino spots were fine. But then I started in on the color on the skin without even starting a new layer, which was the real mistake. So most of what you're seeing right now is just going to be deleted later in the drawing, which I don't know, maybe that was a waste of time. Maybe I should have cut it out or something. I don't know, I'll figure that out for a different video. But anyway, starting with a couple of Pokemon, I think that I've made good progress so far in everything that I've learned regarding layers, brushes, um, hotkeys on the tablet. It's been a lot of fun, for sure. I really like doing the eyes. This was a lot of fun here. The colors are fun too. Shading is by far my favorite part of this whole experience. It doesn't show here. Oh my god, that looks like garbage. It'll get better though, trust me. By the end of this video, Bulbasaur's looking pretty fly. I love the little comb over on the top of his head. I get that effect when I am shading the top of a creature's head, and I just love that comb over. So this is where I kind of really start to learn what shading's all about and how I'm going to use layers in the future for this drawing and for future drawings. It's so much easier to like put this bulb, for instance, behind his back. So if I go over the lines a little bit, it just goes right underneath, no problems. But even here, yeah, like I'm not good at drawing. I mean, clearly, but the shading here, like, this just goes to show that like anybody can do this. Cause I love what I did with that bulb. I'm not bragging or anything. I'm just saying like I love my accomplishment here. I did a great job. And see, I just kind of cleared away that first layer and started fresh. Like I said, I was new to layers. I was like, oh, maybe I shouldn't use them. Maybe I should go easy on the layers. I don't know if it makes the file bigger or what. Don't worry about it. Use as many layers as you fucking can. That's what I've found. And I don't think many professionals would argue with that point. As you may have noticed, I'm using Krita. Krita is a free open source drawing platform that I assume you can't use for business purposes. Um, I mean, I read the terms of service. I know that you can't use it for business purposes. Please don't sue me. Yeah, but it works really well. I have yet to find the thing that I can't do with it. When I do, maybe I'll consider using Photoshop or at least trying a different free and open source drawing platform. But Crit is great, and I love that it exists. I wouldn't be able to do this without it. Speaking of free and open source, I am using Davinci Resolve to cut down this video. Um, when I say cut down, I mean speed up. I sped it up to, I think, 15 times normal speed, which is, I mean, ended up at like 10 minutes when it was 2.5 hours. And I think it worked out okay. Here's where I'm starting in on the borderlines, like the final outline. This was a very difficult thing for me to do the first time, and I think it shows. The I think I've kind of found it to be enjoyable still. I just need to hit my stride with it a little bit more. I don't know, I have some hesitance for using like thicker, blacker lines, and I would like to explore that a little bit more. Gotta love those thick black lines. And I don't know, it still looks messy when I'm done here, but like kind of in a nice way, like it's aesthetically pleasing still. Um, anyway, it's fun, and I've found that it's just a bunch of stages, as with anything. You start with the sketch, you go into color, then you get your final outline, and then you clean everything up. And somebody who's a professional artist can feel free to chime in and tell me I'm missing a couple steps there. But for for the most part, I think that's what I've learned. Kind of looks like he's wearing eyeliner. Oh, and here's another big mess up. The number one mess up. I did not give him nostrils in the final outline. Oh, tisk. Fucking tisk. But, he can still breathe through his mouth, so, it's still, it's okay. It's a win-win. It just kind of loses some of the dimension of his face, which I don't like. His already very tiny, tiny face. The reference I used, and yes, I use a reference. I mean, I hope you didn't think I was doing this from memory, but the reference I used had a way bigger head. If you Google it, you can probably find. Actually, you know what? I'm going to try to attach it in this video. But that's the Bulbasaur. uh, I did okay, I think.